Well, hello there, vinyl community. It's Jacob coming to you again from the Dallas Open Mic Here YouTube channel. I'm going to pick up where I left off in the last video. Still doing the vinyl scavengers thread of talking about rabbit holes. And if you didn't see the last video, that's all right. We'll get you caught up, and you'll be able to figure out what's going on here. So what I'm doing is I'm exploring record collecting rabbit holes. And the last video I showed some records that I found at Recycled Books and Records in Denton from their clearance boxes in the front of the store. And the missus and I went down the hill to see the 2-Bit Swing Band at Dan's Silverleaf, and they put on an incredible show. Had so much fun. They really provide more enjoyment than your big name touring bands that come through town. Well, after being on cloud 9 for about 2.5 hours, thought might want to do some more record digging, because I hadn't had a chance to see the regular priced records at the bookstore. Have a sip of Earl Grey tea in honor of Martin, and I'll show you what I found. So I went to the country section, and usually the country section is very poorly stocked, but the country section was packed. So they must have had a collection come through in the summer, because most of the records were priced back in July. And here's one of them that I found. Now it's a great little rabbit hole label, King or Star Day, right here. Recorded a lot of Reno and Smiley, the great bluegrass act. And here's a bit of a special one here, because they're recording a bluegrass tribute to their dear friend Cowboy Copas, who also was a King Star Day label guy, and died in that plane crash. Now, what they do is they do a nice reworking of some songs that Cowboy Copas would perform. And oftentimes when you find King Star Day records, you'll have splits and things to worry about, but those early ones are so sturdy that they usually survive the damage that gets done to the covers. Now, I was on a little bit of a Don Reno and rabbit hole after playing this, and I was watching a YouTube video of Don Reno. It was recorded from 1980, and he was talking about back in the 1940s, a young fellow by the name of Hank Garland, the great guitar player, approached him and asked to learn how to play a tune, Pretty Little Widow. And Don taught Hank the song, and Hank reworked it and became a hit under the title Sugarfoot Rag. And then Hank Garland became known as Hank Sugarfoot Garland, which I think irked Don Reno a little bit, but Sugarfoot Rag is a lot of fun. And Hank Garland went on to play with Cowboy Copas for a couple of years. Well, that's enough secondhand trivia for now. Let's move on to this one here. Got some more guitar playing rabbit hole to talk about. Now, I do like Hank Thompson's Brazos Valley Boys. They were a great band. I'm not a huge fan of Hank Thompson's vocals. Sometimes he does very well, and sometimes he gets, or far too often, he gets too sibilant with the. He sounds a bit like. Not talking politics here, but just as a point of reference, Senator Lindsey Graham, and that's who Hank Thompson often sounds like. But what's neat about this record is there's a fantastic guitar player on here. Merle Travis records with Hank Thompson on that record, so that's a lot of fun. And speaking of Merle Travis, This was a fun surprise. One of the great rabbit hole joys of digging in the wild is coming across things that you didn't know about. So I knew that Merle Travis recorded with CMH. I've got quite a few, or a handful of records that he recorded on that great label. But this is his final album that he recorded with them. This is a posthumous release, and we get a different side of a real different side of Merle Travis here. Usually you get a smiley-faced guy on the cover, but look at that. Tattooed. Looks like a sailor. And what's he singing? He's singing rough, rowdy, and blue songs like Cocaine Blues, Jelly Roll Blues, Merry Christmas Baby, which I don't think belongs on this record, but it's very well performed. Stacko Lee was also known as Stagger Lee. Merle singing about life on the wrong side of the tracks here, and you can hear he's having a lot of fun. Very well recorded record. This is my favorite Merle Travis record from his CMH label sessions, and very, very cheap record that I highly recommend you guys pick this one up before somebody cool talks about it and drives the price up, because it's a lot of fun. Let's see what other rabbit holes I might have wandered down in this trip. Here's an artist. There's a rabbit hole. Artists that I had just, not taken seriously for one reason or another. And this is Charlie Daniels. It's an early one. He's got his big belly there sitting on the chair. And I never cared for that Devil Went Down to Georgia song. It was overplayed. He does play a mean fiddle in that song, but that's not the kind of fiddling that I enjoy. And so I never showed much interest to Charlie Daniels, but I really enjoy his earlier stuff. And you just look at this. This is from that collection that came through. It's got a price cut, but such clean shape right there. It was hard to pass that one up, because one of the things that's great is when you find a store that prices things to sell, and they'll put things below the median blue book value, below the median Discogs value, so they can get it out of there. And you find some really great stuff for pennies on the dollar. And one of the great deals going is Merle Haggard records from the 70s and 80s, and some of them are very good. When you get a big Merle Haggard collection, and a lot of times what they did here at Recycled was they priced the 1960s stuff high, but then these were just pennies on the dollar for what you could be paying for them, and you get some nice stuff. Here's an album that I already had, but it was in such clean shape. I thought, I could get an extra and send one off to my brother in North Carolina. And Merle Haggard singing about trains, right there. Or we got a nice Merle Haggard compilation, tribute record to Hank Williams and Lefty Frizzell, some good 1950s country. We got a side for Hank and a side for Lefty. And then I found a great rabbit hole to go down. This is kind of stuff you don't see every day. Lefty Frizzell mono recordings from 1951. And it's some kind of archival label, but the sound on this is really quite nice. So stuff you don't see every day. Lefty Frizzell, 1951. Look at this. Some early recordings of Lefty Frizzell, and this was put out by Rounder Records. So that's gonna be good. Rounder had so much fun with that. they put out another one. And so, this is stuff that's just hard to find. The country artists, they were, pretty late in the game to recording albums. That, Lefty didn't record his first full 12-inch album until 1959. And, his main decade was the 50s. So, finding a collection like this is just fantastic. Here's one I've been looking for a while. Lefty Frizzell's Country Favorites. It's on Harmony, and I saw a YouTube channel that had a lot of views. That the fella said you shouldn't buy Harmony records because they're junk, and that was very painful to hear that, because it was terrible advice, just spoken with utter confidence. I much prefer the advice of the more knowledgeable Vinyl Rob. Has an incredible country collection that he shares on his YouTube channel. It's not the most searchable name, Vinyl Rob, but if you punch in Vinyl Rob or Vinyl Rob Country, you can usually find one of his videos. And what Vinyl Rob points out is that what Harmony was great for doing is Harmony's a Columbia label. They would re-release the 78s and 45 singles as on these LPs, but it's a great way to get the true mono versions of these songs, or the original recordings. So you can have somebody like a Bill Monroe, for example, who all of his early records would have been mono, and if you get the early Harmony records, you'll get those original mono recordings. And because most people don't go looking for them, or in a lot of cases they just have landscape or barn scenes for the covers. They don't have very collectible looking cover art. You can find those records for a song. Of course, later on in the day, Harmony would jump in on the bandwagon here with the fake stereo, and so that might not be as desirable for us now. But again, if you get something dirt cheap, you might suffer through a little bit of the fake stereo. It's not necessarily going to hurt you. This series was the collectible series. I usually don't care for the sound on these as much, but they're fun too. Here's a Lefty original album from the 60s that I didn't have. That's a mono. Here's an album that I already had, but again, this just looks like it was bought yesterday. Over 50 years young. This is the end of the trail here for Lefty in the mid 70s. See the tolls of alcoholism. He'd go out in style. Who's on this record with him? On steel guitar, we have Weldon Myrick, Jeff Newman, Hal Rugg. On fiddle, what do we have here? I know Buddy Spiker and Johnny Gimbel are on here. I have to find it, but good session musicians there. And so that was a nice boost to my my Lefty Frizzell collection. And I had to do some serious reshelving to make space for this stuff. I keep overflowing my country shelf. And let's see what else we got here. Someone that's still very affordable. I have a mono copy of this, but this is a nice stereo copy, early Tammy Wynette. Here's one that I did not have. It's the class of '55 guys, a live recording in was it Stuttgart, Germany, and I was not overly impressed with the the recording quality from my first spin. Maybe I was listening with plugged ears, so I'll try it again. But, we've got who's the producer on here? Co-produced and mixed by Rodney Crowell. We got Marty Stewart playing on here. Earl Pool Ball on piano. Fun stuff, but I wish it sounded a little better. Here's a great surprise, and this mid '80s, the Highwayman era, or Johnny Cash. This is Johnny Cash, Believe in Him, on Word Records, the Waco label. Some kind of Nashville crossover, but they had the crossover with A&M. The sacred and the secular combining. Now, this looks like it would just be absolutely dreadful, dated stuff from the '80s. But the band that this is kind of like Johnny Cash is recording something off the books, and probably didn't have the same kind of pressures from the major studios, and sounds like he got to do a bit of his own thing. The production here, produced by Marty Stewart, and it's fantastic. We have steel guitar by Pete Drake, dobro playing by Jerry Douglas, mandolin playing by Marty Stewart, piano Earl Pool Ball and Pig Robbins, pump organ Jack Stack-a-Track, Grotschmal. I'm not familiar with that fella. And what was it to say for strings? Sorry about that. I'm losing my place. But anyway, this surprisingly lively and full of fun. I like this. I like this more than Johnny Cash's early Columbia gospel stuff. So, great surprise there. The Word label teamed up with Herb Albert's label, A&M. Yeah, with the trumpet of Herb Albert. Let's see what else I found. Oh, I found a grail. So here we have a stereo pressing of Johnny Bush's first album, Sound of Heartache, which I already owned. But this one here is a white label promo. So that was a treat. There, beautiful. Sound of Heartache, very nice shape. Just has a little ding in that corner, but you don't see that every day. I've never seen this in the wild before I bought my copy on eBay. And my last record to show you. Hey, I'm going to be able to finish this video in under 20 minutes. The Johnny Bush record that I did not have in my collection. This is Johnny Bush on Delta after he got dropped by RCA following the troubles he had with spasmodic dysphonia. If you don't know that one, it's a condition that afflicts your vocal cords and you end up sounding like Robert Kennedy Jr. But Johnny Bush was able to battle through that one and finish his career strong. That's the end of that video. If you didn't see my previous video, well, you can link to it right here. Maybe it'll bring you some joy. Take a break for now, and maybe I'll finish some more videos tonight. I'm not feeling well at all. I got over the RSV, and I've got a ear infection that's bothering me. I'm taking meds, and you know, I'm not living it up in the Dallas nightlife right now, because I just don't have the energy to do that. And well, might as well just make some vinyl community videos for myself to watch. Have a good one, folks.